In the annals of human history, among the countless threads that compose the intricate tapestry of civilization, one figure stands out as a radical weaver, challenging conventions, questioning norms, and igniting the flames of intellectual curiosity. His name echoes through the corridors of time, resonating with defiance and wisdom. Diogenes of Sinope. Born in the bustling city of Sinope, around the year 412 BCE, Diogenes emerged as a beacon of philosophical enlightenment amidst the tumultuous currents of ancient Greece. His life, marked by eccentricity and audacity, unfolded against the backdrop of a world in flux, where the clash of ideas and the pursuit of truth shaped the destiny of nations. Diogenes is considered one of the founders of Cynicism, along with Zeno of Citium and Antisthenes. In an era teeming with illustrious minds and revered scholars, Diogenes carved a unique path, pioneering a philosophy that transcended the boundaries of tradition. Born into a wealthy family in Sinope, Diogenes experienced the turmoil of war and political upheaval from a young age, shaping his worldview and instilling in him a deep-seated skepticism of societal norms. An early and pivotal episode in his life involved the debasement of currency, a scandal in which Diogenes and his father, Hicesias, were implicated. Accused of adulterating the city's coinage, Diogenes was exiled from Sinope. This dramatic fall from grace became a crucible that forged his philosophical outlook, driving him to Athens where he would fully embrace and develop his Cynic philosophy. The consequences of this event were profound, stripping him of conventional societal roles and possessions, thereby propelling him towards a life dedicated to questioning and defying societal norms. Unlike his predecessors and contemporaries, and despite his origins, Diogenes eschewed the trappings of wealth and status, opting instead for a life of radical simplicity and unabashed honesty. Throughout his life, Diogenes traversed the ancient world, from the bustling streets of Athens to the bustling shores of Corinth, engaging in spirited debates and challenging the intellectual elite, and the dullness of principles and virtue of the people with his wit and wisdom. Several anecdotes are narrated marking Diogenes' radical and unconventional approach to life itself and philosophy, remaining intact through the passage of time as beacons of strict coherence and utmost application of higher principles to one's own conduct. One of the most vivid examples of his commitment to these principles was his decision to live in a large clay jar, or pithos, rather than in a conventional house. This act of extreme asceticism was a deliberate repudiation of materialism and societal expectations, demonstrating his belief that true happiness and freedom come from reducing one's needs to the bare minimum. By making his home in such a humble abode, Diogenes challenged others to reconsider their own values and the true sources of contentment, illustrating his philosophy through his way of life and inspiring those around him to seek virtue over wealth and simplicity over excess. Unlike his predecessors and contemporaries, Diogenes eschewed the trappings of wealth and status, opting instead for a life of radical simplicity and unabashed honesty. His legendary exploits embodied the essence of his philosophy: to live in accordance with nature and embrace the virtues of self-sufficiency and independence. Another of the most famous anecdotes reflecting his approach involves his encounter with Plato, illustrating his criticism for Plato's philosophy. When Plato, during one of his speeches before his students, stated that a human could be considered as a featherless biped, Diogenes, in order to prove the faultiness of the philosophical thought illustrated by Plato, plucked a chicken and brought it to Plato's academy, declaring, "Here is Plato's human." Through such unconventional actions, Diogenes challenged the intellectual elite and demonstrated the absurdity of their abstract theories. From his famed encounters with Plato in the hallowed halls of Athens to his fearless defiance of societal conventions, even in its audacious and controversial forms, Diogenes' life was a testament to the power of individual agency and the pursuit of truth. Diogenes' legacy transcends mere philosophical discourse, as his unconventional actions and ideas left an indelible mark on the socio-cultural fabric of his time and beyond, up to this day. Another famous anecdote recounts Diogenes at times wandering through the marketplace with a lantern, in broad daylight. When asked what he was doing, he replied, "I am looking for a man." This simple yet profound gesture, capturing the curiosity of the people and rulers alike, encapsulates Diogenes' unwavering commitment to truth and his relentless pursuit of virtue amidst the moral decay of society. The image of Diogenes with his lantern became with time a powerful symbol of his philosophical quest and enduring legacy, highlighting his disdain for hypocrisy and his call for integrity in human conduct. It is thought that Diogenes, once arrived to Athens, met with Antisthenes in order to learn from him. Famous is the anecdote according to which, upon harsh refusal to accept him as a student, he declared, as he was about to be beaten off with a stick, that no amount of effort was going to keep him away as long as he thought that he could have something to learn from him. Among Diogenes' illustrious students was the pragmatic Crates of Thebes, whom would eventually become in his time the most renowned Stoic philosopher of Greece, and was the first mentor of Zeno of Citium. Another of the most enduring anecdotes involving none other than Alexander the Great illustrates the stark contrast between their worldviews. When Alexander, impressed by Diogenes' wisdom, met him and asked what could he do for him, Diogenes famously replied, "Stand out of my sunlight." This bold assertion of independence and self-sufficiency encapsulates Diogenes' disdain for worldly power and once again his commitment to living in accordance with nature. Another of the most telling episodes of his life was his capture by pirates while traveling through the Aegean Sea and subsequent sale into slavery. When asked what he could do, Diogenes responded with characteristic wit and confidence, declaring that he knew how to govern men and should be sold to someone who needed a master. Eventually, he was sold to Xeniades of Corinth, who, impressed by Diogenes' intellect and demeanor, entrusted him with the education of his children. Diogenes thrived in this role, imparting his philosophical principles and way of life to the next generation, thus turning his captivity into an opportunity to spread his teachings and exemplify his belief in the power of virtue and wisdom over circumstance. From his famed encounters with Plato in the hallowed halls of Athens to his fearless defiance of societal conventions, Diogenes' life was a testament to the power of individual agency and the pursuit of truth. At the heart of Diogenes' philosophy lay a set of distinctive principles that revolutionized the various branches of philosophy widely known and accepted to that day. From his radical rejection of societal norms to his emphasis on the pursuit of virtue and wisdom, Diogenes, by challenging conventional wisdom, championed the inherent dignity of the individual. His teachings on cynicism and self-sufficiency inspired countless scholars and thinkers, reshaping the contours of ancient thought and laying the foundation for future philosophical movements. As the sun set on the life of Diogenes, on a fateful day in the year 323 BCE, in Corinth, his legacy endured, casting a long shadow over the annals of human history. His fearless defiance of authority and unwavering commitment to truth continue to inspire generations of scholars and thinkers, reminding us of the enduring power of the human spirit. In the tapestry of civilization, Diogenes remains a luminous thread, weaving his legacy of wisdom and enlightenment into the fabric of human consciousness, guiding us towards a future shaped by the pursuit of truth and the embrace of our shared humanity.